Ho ho, boardies! Welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth, and this is Danganronpa, episode 26. We're in the middle of the trial. All fingers are pointed to Kyoko having murdered Makara, and it's up to us to save her. The last thing was said that Kyoko is responsible for. There couldn't only be the person responsible for the death of Makara, and we're going to find out if that's true. Starting now. Let's go.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Interesting.
Huh? The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
I'm listening. Yeah, the top.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Certain something that the seam was used to cover the body. Could it have been? Where's the top? Where are you?
I got it!
I got it.
The tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick.
Thank you very much.
You're
I've been
right.
practicing.
All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that.
Interesting.
Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
In order to frame Makoto, then.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
My question exactly, Byakuya.
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
Good answer.
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Oh, points the finger at Makoto again. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? No blood on it, but the body.
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's going to think I'm the killer. After what Kyoko said. Make your argument! Okay, body before the explosion.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side was the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Should have got dirty though. Oh. Yes, I see. So what you're saying is I have absolutely no idea.
Shoot!
Oh, what did I do? That was the wrong
By
thing.
covering the body with the tarp,
Okay.
the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side
Yes.
was the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body,
Okay.
of course it didn't get dirty.
Right. So that one. Okay. Byakuya even warned us not to touch it to avoid getting any blood on us. Let's do it again. It's got to be the last thing that he says.
The killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one
Very
side
end. Don't get trigger happy.
because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, It was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Nearly.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course
Hold.
it didn't get dirty.
This one. Oh. What am I using the wrong thing?
By covering the body with the tarp,
Oh.
the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got
Little
that
idiot.
side wet.
Body before the explosion.
It was totally spotless, right?
Lost 2 hearts for that. 3 hearts maybe?
Was protected
How many
from
hearts
the
do you start
water.
with? 5?
Since it was facing down toward the body,
Ah, that's right.
of course it didn't get dirty.
Boom! There we go. Jack Hughes, eventually.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
Right.
Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you.
Uh-huh.
If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they used it.
If they
Maybe.
had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
No.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh!
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Okay. Huh? The blood was camouflage.
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what he
Could have done that.
right?
But
When he
there was
pretended
something
to be
more nearby. The chicken was missing, I think.
That's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... chicken coop chickens.
I got it!
I got it!
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the
Chicken?
body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
A chicken?
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
They should
I
have.
wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around.
Hmm.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
So it was to cover it, to prevent it looking like it was anything else apart from the knife sticking out. That makes sense.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange.
Hmm.
Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No, it was wearing it backwards.
I think so.
That's not how you wear a coat.
No. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp.
Yeah.
Then, later, a At the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Okay.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
You are my friend, Kyoko.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Oh my god. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Nice. This guy's dead body's been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Oh.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi
New evidence.
is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it?
I don't know.
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
It's super serious, guys.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
That's the knife Makoto found. So we gave to Makoto.
What about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
What if he did do it? Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we going to do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. What if I am the killer? I don't want it anyway. So what do I do? No, what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
Shock. Horror.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
A chicken?
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000%.
Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. I just hit the mic. Amateur. Okay. Disguised dead body. Monokuma in the
The knife
background.
we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the new evidence.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
Uh-huh.
Did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Oh, no, it's not.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong. J'accuse.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
Well, if we were faking it by putting a knife, then it certainly wasn't the stabbing then.
No, don't you remember? The killer
Oops.
covered the dead body.
Don't you remember? Oh, okay, that's fine. The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, then put the bloody coat on it, right?
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Maybe. The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot. No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Oh, okay. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. However, dead before the blast, the victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through. They had also been struck in the head. Okay, this one.
I got it!
I got it!
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife.
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
Oh, the sneaky killer.
They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
Ooh.
Exploding the body afterwards.
Coco
was
should totally be dead after
probably
that.
the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward.
Interesting.
They
Very
meant for us
interesting.
to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden
Yeah,
like
good
that?
question. Why did that happen?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between
Oh,
your
they used the
ears,
bomb that was in
you know
Monokuma.
the answer.
So it must have been someone that was dismantling it. So Byakuya did it.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you.
I'll
I did some
tell ya.
unknown quantum particle causing atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. It was fragments near the dead body.
I got it!
I got it!
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
I
That's
didn't
only
think this looked like the bomb at all,
because,
to be
of
honest. But
course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
I did.
It's part of a bomb.
Oh, okay, it's that little bit.
Oh, then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Hmm.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Interesting. It's not Kyoko for sure.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Because Toko went up, maybe Toko could have done it.
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. Okay, we need to concentrate. Let's see what's going on now. Bum, 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 da-dum.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Oops, oops.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't
That
because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Yes, I think I need
And
that.
more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Okay. The knife was a cover-up and all those wounds on her body weren't fresh, which only leaves the thing on the head.
Then shall we
Yes.
continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No.
No, that's wrong.
Jacques Hughes. Jacques Hughes.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Mukuro.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point.
Oh yeah.
They're old.
Oh yeah, good
They don't
point.
really matter.
Oh, no harm done. Oh yeah.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
Hmm.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
On the other side, maybe?
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off.
I thought the same, Hero.
You'd be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Oh, don't you threaten me with a good time.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Jesus.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same.
What a good time we're having.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you deduced the real murder weapon?
Okay. The real murder weapon. Okay, what have we got? Could it have been those things we found? The arrows. We didn't have a bow, so they couldn't have been used to actually hit. They could have been used to hit as like a weapon, right? But they couldn't have actually been fired into somebody.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something
Oh,
was
the bloody tape as
the
well.
titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt in my mind about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have
It is a weird way to use an arrow.
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. There we go. It was the other duct tape. There it is.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
You sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Use the duct tape.
No, it's wrong.
What would you do? Would you tape the key to it or something?
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
Tape something to it.
The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple
Oh yeah, that
arrows
makes more
together.
sense.
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
Why though? Why can't you just use one arrow? Like it would kill you, wouldn't it? If you just like took an arrow and stabbed into somebody.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
You even listening.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
Well, I know that you've been to the dojo.
How can you
Seems
say
an
that
interesting
with such
lie.
confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to
A big hug from yours truly.
the death of us all, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. Must be connected to the dojo locker. Key, right? Or block key.
I got it!
I got it!
The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Ooh. But Kyoko... Did Kyoko have the key to her room at this point?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
This again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
You've got the key, Byakuya.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her.
One thing we need to...
Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Okay.
What?
She was protecting me. Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? and she came to my rescue. Could that be when? Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over.
I don't know whether I
The
believe
verdict is
that.
close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Yaku should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Okay. Alright.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
What does that mean?
You should understand that more than
Is it
anyone.
really true?
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You
Yeah,
said I
lock a
hid
key
the evidence of my
in
crime
her own
the dojo
room.
locker,
And then she
and
went,
then left the locker key in
Oh,
my own room.
want that?
Correct. But could I really have done that?
No, you couldn't have. You couldn't have done that. Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those
we got it
words you
now.
just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Byakuya.
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Bang!
No, it's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant.
I see.
And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room
Obviously.
key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No. That's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Or is there some deeper meaning in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko. But, what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap? The victim was Makoro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, But if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Oh. Should I save it here? Oh wait, it wouldn't let me save? Oh my god. I feel like maybe I should let it go. Run away. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Yeah.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Someone had the key on them, and once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there. What? I didn't get that either. What are we saying? There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there. Oh, okay. Excuse me.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's
Ooh.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time!
It's
So
interesting.
then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please
Okay.
vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Okay. A's not bad. I messed up a couple of times in the middle there. Nice. 77.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for me? Oh. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm going to end it the same way. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me.
I know this...
This is
Ooh.
all my fault.
Oh my god. Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Oh my god, we're about to be punished. What's going to happen? Find out next time on Borderline Games. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.